Naomi, you know about the family get-together that's happening next week? Being my daughter-in-law, you are expected to come early in the morning to help prepare everything.
Hi, Kathy. Yes, of course I remember. And yes, I am planning to go there early.
All our relatives are coming too, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Oh, and don't forget to arrange the catering for everyone's lunch.
Okay, I will make sure to do that. Should I just order from the same caterer as well?
Yeah, that should be fine. Oh, but please don't forget to order something healthy for my daughter, Rebecca. You know how she's pregnant with her second baby. Ever since Tom got her pregnant, apparently she can't eat any oily foods.
Oh, I see. Okay, I will order something separately for her then.
Speaking of babies, Rebecca is already going to be a mother of 2. How is it possible that you still don't have any children yet? You realize that you are in your mid-30s already, right? What are you doing wrong?
I'm not sure. We are trying our best.
Doing your best doesn't mean anything if the results aren't following. Well, you are infertile to begin with. I guess it's just a waste of my time to expect anything from my daughter-in-law.
I'm so sorry.
Anyways, I heard that I'm finally getting a grandson, so at least I don't have to worry about the heir to our family name anymore.
Oh, I guess you guys found out about the sex of the baby already?
Yes, that's right. So now Tom and Rebecca are going to have a boy along with their daughter Lydia. She always gives me what I wish for. What an amazing daughter Rebecca is. Even my granddaughter Lydia, she won the piano contest just the other day. Isn't she amazing as well?
Wow, that is amazing. Congratulations.
She's only 8 and already that talented. I can't wait to see how she turns out in the future.
Yeah, and she's very smart too. She's going to have many doors open to her.
I'm sure that's going to be the case. Just as I would expect from my granddaughter. I hope my grandson is going to be just as talented, if not more. Oh, that reminds me. I have a favor to ask of you when Rebecca goes into labor.
Oh, what is it?
Once it becomes close to her due date, she'll be coming here to stay with us. So we need you to take care of Lydia during that time. Is that all right? Her dad is too busy for work and won't be around for her. So I think it would be best for her overall if you took care of her.
If that's the case, of course. My husband and I can take care of Lydia.
Thanks, that'd be great. Well, I guess that's the least you could do, considering you can't even give us any grandchildren. At least this way, you get to experience how it feels to be a mother.
Right. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to experience that.
Lydia has a very tight schedule with all the different lessons she's taking. So you're going to have to stick to the schedule to the minute and support her properly. She's probably going to stay with you guys for about 3 months. Make sure she keeps up with her good grades in school as well.
I understand. We'll do our best.
Anyways, it's still a ways away, so we can talk about more details when the date gets closer. Let's continue thinking about next week's get-together first. Naomi, have you heard about Lydia?
Do you mean about her illness? I heard that she has to be admitted to the hospital again.
Yes, that's right. It's been 6 months since she was diagnosed with this illness, but she doesn't seem to get any better, no matter how many times she goes through surgery. And now her doctor told us that she may not even live long enough to become an adult.
That's horrible. But she was so energetic when I saw her last.
We even did a thorough newborn screening test when Lydia was a baby. I can't believe this is all happening after all these years. To think of how much money we have wasted on her so far. I guess medical care really hasn't progressed that much.
Well, the most important thing now is for Lydia to get as healthy as possible, right? I will go visit her at the hospital sometime soon.
About that, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. You are taking care of Lydia from now on.
What?
Rebecca has her hands full with her second baby right now. And she's all burnt out from going through childbirth and having to deal with Lydia's illness at the same time. That's why we decided to let Lydia go.
What? What do you mean by letting her go?
I'm saying you can take that defective child off my daughter's hands and keep her as your own.
Hold on. Lydia is a living human being. You can't talk about her like she's a thing you can easily hand out. And there's no way her mom would ever agree with such a thing.
Actually, she told me that she doesn't want to keep a child with so many problems. She says she doesn't want to keep raising a child if she's not going to live long anyways.
What's wrong with you guys? Did you even consider Lydia's feelings at all?
Lydia is only 9. It's not going to take her very long to forget about her birth parents. And I don't think she'll live much longer anyways.
Even then, how could you do this to her? Giving up on her like this just because she's sick.
That's why we are saying you can have her. I don't think it's a bad deal for anybody. My daughter will be released from all the stress and inconvenience. And for you, you finally get to be a mother.
I can't do this while completely ignoring Lydia's feelings. I'm sure she wants to stay with her mom and dad. Even when she stayed with us for a while, she was studying really hard to make her parents proud. And this is how she's treated after all that?
Why don't you take her then if you feel so strongly about her? Isn't this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a barren woman like you?
Are Rebecca and Tom both really serious about letting Lydia go?
Yeah. Tom also agrees that they are okay as long as they have their son. To be honest with you, Rebecca isn't really paying much attention to Lydia anymore anyways, lol.
I'm sorry. I can't give you an answer on this one way or the other right now. I need some time to think about all this. I need to take this back and talk about it with my husband as well.
That's fine. If you guys aren't interested in taking her, we can always send her to an orphanage. Make your decision soon. Continuing to care for and maintain a sick child isn't free for us, you know.
I'm sorry for causing you so much trouble, Auntie Naomi.
Oh, hi Lydia. What do you mean? You know about what's happening?
Yeah. Well, it involves me, so...
Right. You must be heartbroken by all this.
It's okay. Everyone keeps telling me that they love my brother more, and that I'm just causing them trouble.
That's not true at all. I know how diligent you have been every day.
You and Uncle are the only ones who's been nice to me this whole time. Even when I was in the hospital. I was so happy when you guys visited me there.
Lydia? Can you tell me how you really feel about all this?
How I feel?
Yes, because that's the most important thing here. I would like to know what's going on through your mind.
Can I come and be your daughter?
Are you sure that's what you really want?
Mom and Grandma both tell me that they don't want me anymore. I want them to love me, but I know that's not happening, so I don't want to keep feeling this way anymore.
Okay, if that's what you want, I'll come now to pick you up.
Are you sure? I'm not going to be a bother for the two of you?
You've never been any bother to us. We have always thought fondly of you and enjoy having you around.
I'm not sure about that. All I do is cause everyone lots of trouble by being sick. And because I won't live long enough to be a grown-up.
You don't know that. Even if that's what the doctors say right now. Someone could come up with a cure tomorrow. Nobody knows what the future holds. Lydia, we will always be with you from now on. We can fight your illness together as a family.
Yeah. Thank you, Auntie Naomi. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'm going to talk to your mom about how I'm coming to pick you up now. So wait for me there. You don't need to worry about anything anymore.
Hey, Naomi, it's been a long time. It's been 10 years since you guys cut us off completely. But you have to hear me out about something. I will even consider taking it to court if I don't hear back from you. It's that important.
Kathy? What is this about? We have done nothing to cause a lawsuit.
It's about Lydia. I heard that her illness has been cured.
So what?
Well, can you imagine our surprise? We saw Lydia being interviewed on TV about her overcoming her illness and being admitted into a really prestigious university. Why didn't you tell us that she was all better?
I didn't think that was necessary. We went through a proper process and officially adopted her as our daughter, and we agreed not to bother with any of you ever again. So why would we tell you about anything?
I don't think you understand. Rebecca is the one who gave birth to Lydia. She only let her go because of the illness. Of course she has a mother's right to know if Lydia is cured.
A mother who abandons her child just because she's sick has no right to know anything.
You realize that you've never given birth to any child, right? You think these 10 years suddenly make you her mother now? You are so pathetic. Lydia is Rebecca's child, no matter how hard you deny it. Anyways, you can bring her back to us now.
I have been raising Lydia for longer than Rebecca did. I'm confident that I'm thinking about what's best for her more than you guys ever could. You're dreaming if you think I would ever give her back to you people.
You have to understand that it's a different story if Lydia is cured. She can come back to her real home and commute to school from there. Even Tom says that he doesn't mind providing for her if she's gifted. It would be better for Lydia to come back and be with her real family anyways. It's time for you to stop playing mother.
Enough is enough! What are you telling my mother?
What?
It's been a while. This is Lydia.
Oh, Lydia! Is that you? It's your grandma. How have you been?
You aren't my grandma. And Rebecca and Tom aren't my real parents. My only grandparents are my mom Naomi's parents. I don't even consider you guys my family anymore.
Lydia, don't be so cruel. We were heartbroken about losing you, you know. Your mom, Rebecca, really regrets it too.
She can regret it forever. I don't even care about any of this.
It must have been really hard for you to be raised by people who aren't your real parents. You can tell me the truth.
They gave me so much more love than my birth parents ever did.
I'm sure that's not true. We spent a lot of money on you since you were little.
Yeah, ever since I was in kindergarten, all the way through elementary school. I was so crazy busy studying at cram school to get good grades, and taking lessons in various things just to make you all proud.
Yes, and it was all for you.
No, it wasn't for me. It was all for your own egos. My current parents are the only people who ever cared about what I really want.
Oh, don't be so stubborn. If you come back, we can pay for your tuition. And we'll buy you anything you want. On top of that, your real father is saying he can help you get a good job using his connections. He works for a big company, so you'll be in good hands for sure.
I don't need any of that. I'm very happy with where I am right now. I know I will be miserable if I go back there.
Your little brother is here too, you know. He really wants to see his big sister.
I have no memory of him. My illness was found around the same time as he was born, so I wasn't even allowed to see him. I didn't have any interest in a brother I've never even met.
Lydia, you are gifted. You are promised to have a bright future if you come back to live with us here for sure. Anyways, why don't you come visit us at least once? Everyone is dying to see you.
No, thank you. I bet you have no idea how I felt when you guys abandoned me. I don't think people who so easily abandon their child just because the child gets sick are even human. I am here today happy and healthy, all thanks to my current parents. And I can swear that it has nothing to do with you at all. Don't ever contact my mother like this ever again.
Hey, Lydia! Please! To tell you the truth, we are thinking that you could be our heiress. Your brother isn't really smart enough to carry our family name on as the heir.
Lydia doesn't want to talk to you anymore. And I have nothing to say to you either, so excuse myself here.
Wait, Naomi! Please talk to Lydia. She will listen to you, won't she? Please tell her to come home.
I respect her decision, and I will never say anything to deny her feelings otherwise.
Don't you feel sorry for Rebecca? Her own child was taken away by you.
What? I've never felt sorry for her like that. If anything, I feel sorry that she's horrible enough to abandon her child the way she did.
She was way beyond her capacity back then.
Even so, she doesn't even contact us until now, when Lydia's all better. And we made a promise that we will contact you. At least until Lydia asks to see you guys. But I don't think that's what she wants right now. So, will you excuse us?
You and Lydia have no blood connection, you know.
So what?
Isn't it hard to hide the fact that you are not her actual mother? It's best for Lydia to be with her real family. Please, let me talk to my beloved granddaughter again. I've been regretting the whole situation ever since we let her go. I really regret making the decision we did.
I can proudly say that I'm her mother. Doesn't matter what you say, she is our daughter. No matter what happens. She's always going to be our precious daughter, and we'll never let her go. We have been ignoring them since then, and we went back to living our normal life. You'd think it would be easier if we were to block their contact, but we want to make sure that Lydia has a way to reach them in case she ever decides she wants to talk to them. Just in case she ever changes her mind. She doesn't seem interested to talk to them right now. I want to keep their contact details for at least a little while longer, just in case. And they tried to fight us legally, but she's already our adopted child officially, so they weren't successful. And she's already 18 to begin with, so she can make her own decisions on where she wants to be. So we plan on letting her stay here as long as she wants. I heard that her little brother turned out to be a very problematic 10-year-old as a result of everyone spoiling him recklessly. Apparently, he's very selfish and doesn't listen to what anybody says. But, to be fair, he's still only 10. I would think it's too early to give up on him as an heir. But they are the type to abandon a child just because she's sick, so I guess they are worried about the future. I'm sure they just want Lydia back so they can brag about having a gifted child as their next heiress. I will never let such people have Lydia ever. Not that they have anything to do with us anymore. In any case, we will always protect Lydia as a family and nurture and support the growth of our precious daughter towards a bright future.
Ava, I heard you bought a house. Is it a detached house? I've been missing you, mother-in-law. Yes, it's a second-hand one. But it seems to be a big detached house, doesn't it? How nice. I'm jealous of your apparently good life. That's not true. It was old and run down, so I could buy it cheaper than the market price. And it's big just because it's a countryside house. But you renovated it and made it beautiful, didn't you? These days, renovating your own house is trendy. I've seen it on TV and videos. Well, yeah, that's true. So, when are you moving? Next month. Oh, that's soon. You should have told me. I was planning to report it at some point. I'm sorry it's late. My son is not good at communication. Unless I contact him, he doesn't call or text. I wonder if he's still holding on to the past. Are you talking about the story that you guys used his scholarship money a long time ago? Oh, you've heard about it. Used the scholarship money in gambling. Right. My husband squandered it on horse racing. Because of that, he became a struggling student. I heard he had to work part-time a lot. But most of his part-time job money was taken by his father. Life was hard at that time. I had no choice but to use my son's part-time job money to repay the debt. I feel bad for my son, but I guess it can't be helped. We're a family, we have to help each other. But he ended up bearing the repayment of the scholarship money you squandered in gambling, right? Yes! Originally, the person who received the scholarship should repay it. Even if we say squandered it, it wasn't the full amount. It's also true that we used it for his tuition. It's only natural for him to repay it. I feel like my husband's burden is too great. But he's working for a good company now, isn't he? And he has the financial power to buy a detached house. Repaying the scholarship wouldn't be a big deal, and my son agreed to it. Is that so? Well, who cares about that anymore? I contacted you because I have something important to talk about. Something important? Yes, we've decided to live with you. See you next month. Excuse me? You mean live together? Yes. It seems you've bought a very large house. It's too big for 2 people to live in it. We also wanted to live in a detached house with a garden, so we thought it would be just right. Please wait a moment. It's hard for me to respond to such a sudden proposal. You haven't talked to my husband about this, have you? It'll be fine with my son. He'll definitely agree. He's always been a good listener. But that's a problem. We have our own circumstances too. What circumstances? My husband was recently diagnosed with a disease. Cancer. Cancer? This happened right before we're about to move. We're still shocked. My husband will have a tough fight with the disease from now on, so we don't have the luxury to think about living together. No, if that's the case, it's even more perfect. I can help with nursing care. So let's live together. No, I can do it by myself. Anyway, we don't have the luxury to live together. What are you talking about? It's hard to take care of him and do housework all by yourself, isn't it? What if you get sick too? If there were more people doing the housework, it'll be easier for you. You can focus on my son's treatment. That might be the case, but... Right? Leave it to me. Let's live happily together. Mother-in-law? What is this terrible state of the house? I was away for just 1 day and it's like a garbage dump. Welcome back. If you're back, please clean up. The kitchen smells. Please do some of it yourself. And please don't let my husband drive. Now is the time when he's feeling the worst from the side effects. But it was raining, so it can't be helped. We can't go anywhere without a car in such a rural area. Even so, please don't treat a sick person like a driver. What would you do if something happened to my husband? Ugh, you're so annoying. If you're going to say that much, you should pick up and drop off. Where are you going? You're not working. I'm going to town. There's nothing around here but mountains and rice fields. I'll go senile if I stay in a place like this for long. It's because you're not at home that I'm asking my son to drive me around. I have a job. As you can see, my husband isn't in a condition to work properly, so I have to work for 2. Well, thank you for your hard work. By the way, I'm out of money. Next time, please give me about $500. What? You've already used it up? I just gave it to you 3 days ago. That was gone in a blink. It was quickly lost in gambling. Does my father-in-law go gambling too? I wonder, isn't he out drinking somewhere? I haven't seen his face for 3 days. I wonder where he's wandering off to. I hate to say this, but both you and my father-in-law spend too much money. Since we're living together, can't you consider the household a little more? What? You don't like it? If you won't give it to me, I'll ask my son. I'm sure he'll go to the bank or ATM for us. Please don't try to move my bedridden husband. I'll pay the money. Then could you please give each of us $500? So, a total of $1,000? I can't do that. Please bear with half. Don't be stingy. You can afford that much, right? There's a limit to what I can do. Then why don't you let my son retire early? Then he would get a severance pay. My husband loves his current job. He's working hard on his treatment with the goal of returning to work. If he's forced to retire, he may lose his motivation to fight the disease. Please don't say whatever you want. But he won't be able to work again, will he? It's a nuisance to the other employees. He should just quit. Please don't say such things. Neither I nor my husband have given up. I believe that my husband will definitely return to work. It's nice to be young. Life isn't sweet enough to open the way with a believing heart. Ava, I'm going to have a drink before I go home, so I won't need dinner tonight. I see. I can't come to pick you up. Please call a taxi and come back on your own. What are you talking about? You have time because you're off from work. I'm busy. The funeral for my husband is over, but there are still many things to do. Speaking of which, there were a lot of attendees at the funeral. I was surprised that our son had so many acquaintances. He was a shy child. My husband was well liked by everyone. He was a kind person. I think it was his virtue. I really think he was a good man. It's just a shame he didn't live longer. Yes. Anyway, now that the funeral is over, I have to tidy up my son's belongings. You can leave that for now. We'll think about that after the 49 days period. You don't need to wait that long. I want to clean up the room where our son had been bedridden. I want to turn that room into my hobby room. We're not tidying up the room yet. Since it's not used anymore, it should be fine. Besides, it's not your decision to make. I'll think about the future. Others should leave already. What do you mean? Just what it sounds like. My son's not here anymore, so you're a stranger now. You're asking me to leave? Because we're not related by blood. There's no need to live together anymore. The house is my son's memento, so we'll take it. Please leave. I see. Indeed, strangers should leave. Then I'll prepare for the move immediately. That's helpful of you. Then hurry up. Understood. And it seems better to be sooner. Please leave the house by tomorrow. What? What do you mean, please leave? It sounds like you're kicking us out. The one who's leaving is you. No. The ones who should leave this house are you, my mother-in-law and father-in-law. What are you talking about? My son bought this house. We, his parents, will take it. Are you saying that to provoke me? Or are you serious? The primary heir is the spouse, which is me. I'm the owner of this house. If I say you should leave, you should leave. My son would never allow that. He acknowledged that we live here. My husband is no longer here. In other words, there's no one to spoil you anymore. From now on, you will follow my intentions regarding this house. You, as a daughter-in-law, can't you listen to your mother-in-law? Don't you dare talk back to me. I'm different from my husband. I'm not obedient to you. You've been listening well until now. Why are you resisting now? The reason I was obedient until now was for my husband. If I clashed with you, wouldn't it put a strain on my husband? Stress is not good for the body, so I was just enduring it for him. Don't you intend to carry on the will of your deceased husband? Not at all. Leave immediately, or else I'll take legal measures. Legal measures? It means to make clear who has the right to this house. Then you wouldn't be able to interfere. Wait, you don't have to go that far. If you don't like it, please leave quickly. If you resist, I'll resort to legal measures immediately. In any case, you have no choice but to leave. So please, do so sooner. Wait a minute, even if you want to kick us out, it's a problem for us too if you say it out of the blue. You're not a monster to suddenly throw two old people out of their house, are you? Who knows? I might be a monster. Did your dissatisfaction with us finally explode? I got it. Give us some time to prepare to leave. You're just saying that to stay longer, aren't you? I'm tired of your lies. Before we started living together, you said you would help with nursing and housework, but in the end, you used us and did nothing yourself. You even used my sick husband without hesitation. I've had a backache recently. I wanted to help. If you have the energy to gamble all day, even with a backache, I think you could have done something. You're always making excuses and being easy on yourself. I'm really fed up. To be honest, I don't want to deal with you anymore. You don't have to say that much. Anyway, please wait a moment. Please, okay? No extensions. I've been patient until now. What is this? All of our stuff is outside. Didn't I tell you to leave by tomorrow? I said there would be no extensions. Are you serious? Are you planning to throw us out? As I told you, mother-in-law, I'm not as lenient as my husband, because we're strangers after all. But that doesn't mean you have to resort to such drastic measures. That's too much. I'm sure our son would be disappointed in you. No, I don't think so. This is also what my husband wanted. He has already given his consent. How did he give his consent? He's already dead, you know. Before he died, my husband told me. He apologized to me for causing me trouble by allowing you to live with us. He cried and apologized to me many times. And he told me to abandon you after his death. What? There's no way our son would say something like that. He clearly said so. He even left it in writing. He probably saw this coming with you making a fuss. No way. Our son, who was always obedient. Hey, mother-in-law. Did you ever wonder why your son was so obedient? Why he endured all the unreasonable treatment? Our son didn't think it was unreasonable. He was always obedient to his parents. But he said that his parents were toxic. He was aware that he was being exploited by his parents, and he knew that he shouldn't cause trouble for me, his wife. So at first, he tried to refuse to live with you. Huh? But in the end, he accepted to live together. Why do you think that is? I couldn't understand it at all. If I had such troublesome parents, I would dump them in a heartbeat. I may not be able to survive if I abandon them. But I don't care about that. That's because our son is kinder than you. Exactly. No matter how trashy his parents were, he loved them. There probably is only one person in this world who loves you, but that one person is gone. What are you trying to say? There's no one left in this world who loves you. There's no love between you and your father-in-law, is there? You're just two lonely pieces of trash leaning on each other. What did you just say? Who's trash? But you weren't trash from the start, were you? Huh? My husband often told me about his memories of when he was a little kid. In the old days, when my husband got sick, you took care of him all night. You used to go on picnics with him carrying a lunchbox going to the zoo. You took him to various places. Did my son tell you that? But you became trash because of the influence of my father-in-law. My husband agreed to live together because he believed in you. You might have had a change of heart. You might have really proposed to live together for the sake of taking care of him. With that hope, he decided to accept the cohabitation. Hope? But that hope was shattered. You betrayed my husband. What are you talking about? You're just making stuff up. There's a can of sweets among the luggage I've taken out. Please open it. What is this? It belongs to my husband, but I don't need it, so I'll give it to you. So what is it? Inside, there's a gold medal made of origami. Do you remember it? When my husband was sick and couldn't participate in the sports day, he was depressed. You made it for him, didn't you? Huh? The one I made 30 years ago? Did he keep it all this time? My husband cherished his moments with you. He loved you. No matter how many times he was betrayed, no matter how unreasonable it was. I didn't know he felt that way. Even if you regret it, it's too late. Your son is no longer in this world. What else did my son talk about? He told you about his past memories, didn't he? Tell me. Are you suddenly interested in my husband? However, I refuse, because it's none of my business anymore. I apologize for everything that happened so far. So please. It's too late to apologize now. My husband is no longer in this world. Regret and regret until the very end, and this house is mine alone, because I was the only one who reciprocated my husband's love. After that, my father-in-law was screaming in front of the house for a while, but my mother-in-law eventually stopped him. I suppose my story must have struck a chord with her. My mother-in-law, holding the dirty candy can in both hands as if it were precious, took my father-in-law away. Since then, I have lost contact with my in-laws, and I heard through the grapevine that they divorced. And 2 years after my husband's death, when I visited my husband's grave, I saw my mother-in-law. When she noticed me, she bowed deeply and left. She seems to have gotten her act together. My husband may have sacrificed his life to change his mother's mind. I am still living in that house, surrounded by dogs and cats. Although a lot happened in this house, the only memories that come to mind are the happy ones with my husband. I intend to protect this house forever.